10 Commandments. You shall not make for yourself a carved image, a call to pure, unfiltered worship. Exodus 24:5, New King James, You shall not make for yourself a carved image, any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. You shall not bow down to them nor serve them, for I, the Lord your God, am a jealous God. This is no ordinary command. It's a roaring declaration from the very heart of God. A divine boundary etched in fire and thunder to protect the purity of our worship and preserve the intimacy of our relationship with Him. The second commandment goes beyond the first. While the first calls us to worship no other gods, the second commands how we are to worship the one true God. Not through images, not through idols, not through the lens of our imagination or hands, but in spirit and in truth. God isn't interested in being reduced to a statue, a symbol, or a shrine. He's not flattered by golden calves or painted portraits. He is the invisible, eternal, all-glorious Creator, and to try to represent Him with anything we can shape or mold is to strip Him of His majesty and misrepresent who He is. A warning against idolatrous substitutes. This commandment is a protective shield, safeguarding our view of God from distortion. The moment we begin to craft an image, even one meant to represent God, we are stepping into dangerous territory. Why? Because no image can capture His limitless glory, no sculpture can embody His righteousness, no painting can express His holiness, and no created object can communicate the depth of His love. God is spirit, and to fashion Him into a physical form is to limit the limitless. It is to shrink the infinite into a manageable, controllable object, something we can see, touch, and even manipulate. And that is exactly what idolatry is, the desire to worship on our own terms. But God has never asked for that. He has asked for our hearts, not our handiwork. Biblical echoes and divine jealousy. Let's journey through Scripture to see how seriously God takes this command. Deuteronomy 4:15-16. Take careful heed to yourselves, for you saw no form when the Lord spoke to you at Horeb out of the midst of the fire, lest you act corruptly and make for yourselves a carved image. God specifically reminded the Israelites that when He spoke from Sinai, they saw no form. Why? Because He didn't want them to try to capture His image. He is beyond form, beyond image, beyond imagination. To worship a form is to turn from the true and living God to a false and lifeless substitute. Isaiah 44:9-20. In this powerful passage, Isaiah exposes the absurdity of idolatry. A man cuts down a tree, half of it he uses for firewood, and the other half he shapes into a god and bows before it. The prophet paints a picture that is both tragic and comical. The same tree that cooks his dinner now receives his worship. He falls down before it and worships it. Prays to it and says, "Deliver me, for you are my God." Isaiah 44:17. It's a passionate reminder. Idols are powerless. They cannot speak, see, save, or bless. Worshipping them is not just foolish, it's an offense to the living God who made heaven and earth.